mean, was that exciting or what? Man, I ain't never been in Buck City like that.
December has turned out to be a really fun month with a lot of good action taking place. Very fortunate this month to be invited by some friends at the No Business Creek Hunting Club, and we're really looking forward to a hunt there today, and we're going to show you some things that have happened in December. So you come along with us and we'll have a good time.
Good morning. I'm back in the spot where I took my very first deer. Here's a picture of it. I thought I was taking a doe, but instead it turned out to be a button buck. And I thought to myself, man, how did you do that? First time and you mess up. And then I realized that still happens. Even today, it's still easy to do. But check out the camo I have on. Back in those days, I didn't really have anything to get started with hardly, so I just did the best I could. But anyway, we're back in this stand today, and it's bringing back a lot of memories. This is where it all started, and it's where the fever caught on, and I'm just so excited to be here again today. Of course, we're hoping for a little bit more than a button buck today, but we'll see what happens.
I didn't see any whitetails on this morning, but I did see what I always see, evidence for a creator. As I watched a wood duck swim in the waters behind me, I studied the beautiful colors and patterns. I found it hard to understand why anyone would think this duck came about by sheer accident. Design argues for a designer. On the next hunt, I saw two small does in a green field I was sitting over, but it was late and I opted not to shoot. It was probably very near or after legal shooting time anyway. In between hunts, I was happy to see Matthew Booth, a friend of mine who harvested this tremendous double drop tine buck in 2015. We have a couple of devotionals about it on the Woods to Word site. I sat down with Matthew and asked him to retell the exciting events of that day.
We got this deer on camera, and some of my neighbors have got him on camera too, and we've been hunting and hadn't seen him actually, but we had him on some of our trail cameras at night. So I was like, well, I'm just going down here and sit and see what comes out. And I'm sitting there, hadn't seen a deer all afternoon, and hear something coming through the woods, and I could hear his footsteps, and it was a deer. And then first time I saw him, I was like, yep, that's the deer. Wasn't no question. Well, it's a pretty unique deer. I mean, you don't mistake in this deer with two drop tines coming down off of him. And so I was like, well, I got to keep myself calm, and I shoot left-handed, so he happens to be he's always on my left, so it's hard for me to shoot back to my left. So I finally got situated in the stand, being real quiet, and turn around. I'm just sitting there waiting for him to come to the opening, trying to keep myself calm. Finally gets to about 25 yards, and there's a little opening, just enough to shoot through. And he gets right there, and I eased the gun up and got it on him, and I pulled the trigger, and it goes click. So about that time, my heart started pounding a little bit more then, and he's looking around trying to see what that noise was, and I was like, I knew I loaded my gun when I got in the tree stand, but I was like, I'll check, make sure it was loaded, and I checked, and there was a bullet in there, so I was like, I'll try it again, and nothing. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to reload the gun and try to be really quiet. And actually, the deer started making a scrape. So I was like, well, maybe he's calmed down. And he started walking even closer. So finally, I got it reloaded. I pulled it back. It's a Browning automatic, and I eased another shell in there real quiet. And he got to about 15 yards, and I was pretty nervous. So one shot, and he hit the ground, and it was probably one of the most amazing hunts I've ever been on. I was so excited I wanted to get down to go see him, but I was scared I was going to fall out of the tree stand. I was shaking so hard after I shot that deer. I'd sit there and just hold on to the tree. I was in this little lock on, and there's not a lot of room on a lock on, so I was just sitting there holding on to the tree because I was like, if I can get down, I'm going to fall off the tree and just getting out of the stand. So finally, I got down, calmed down a little bit, and started texting a few folks. And my hands weren't working too good, but it was an amazing hunt.
Man, what is it about deer hunting that that you like so much? I mean, what would you say?
Well, really, I enjoy seeing nature. You get to watch the sunrise in the morning. Just kind of seems like, to me, you're extremely close to God. I mean, you can kind of free your thoughts up a little bit. Don't have the everyday busy life, cell phones going on. You just sit there and kind of think and sit down there and watch nature move and talk to God at the same time, and just to, enjoy being outdoors, and just, you learn a lot at the same time.
Good morning. Thank you for coming along again. We're down here in South Alabama, and got me a good situation here. I'm in a tripod, watching a long wood line, a lot of sedge grass and stuff down below. They may feel like they can kind of move without being seen. Got a food plot up to my left here, so maybe we can catch something that's moving through.
The next few minutes turned out to be a rare, super exciting hunt. Something soon caught my attention moving through the cutover. A 5-point buck and a spike caught my scent when the wind swirled and they both became a little nervous. I passed on this irregular 5-point, but I later regretted it. His rack was not likely to get better, and the video later revealed his body size to be almost twice the size of the good bucks with him. And just look at what more was hidden in the sedge grass. As they ran off, I thought the game was over, and I made a big mistake by turning the camera around before I scanned the cutover one more time. I got busted by a great buck that I never saw below me, and when he stopped at what I estimated at 170 yards, I took a crack at him.
I mean, was that exciting or what? Man, I had never been in Buck City like that. I heard some stuff crackling down in there before daybreak, and I thought, what in the world? It just like nothing I'd never heard. Finally, I saw some rack down there, and I was focused on 2 or 3 of them. You saw it in that first camera shot, and but there were more, and some down below, and finally that last one took off out through there, and he was out there about 175 yards or more, and I took a shot at him, but and I felt fairly steady. We'll just have to see. Maybe I was on him. Maybe I hit that booger. I'll get down here in a minute and check, but man, I mean, that was worth the price of admission, even if I didn't hit nothing. That was outstanding. Wow. Did I sit in the right place today or what? Man. I tell you, if you don't like this kind of stuff, something's just wrong.
The distance turned out to be more like 230 yards, and my search came up empty. Nothing. I shot under him. No harvest, but I did take home more lessons on self-videoing my hunts. Next, I made my way back to the Tennessee hills, hoping to score before the season ended. As I sat in the stand, I smiled at the beauty of the morning and started getting excited about spring turkey season. The birds were sounding off. A little bit later, they made their appearance. And not long after, I got a shot at a doe that crossed the field and skirted behind me.
Couldn't get the camera on him. Just too hard to do. Camera was rolling. You'll probably hear me stop the deer and take the shots, but couldn't get any more than that. That's self-filming for you. Got one down up there on the hill. Gonna be some backstrap on the table soon. I'm glad it turned out to be a good day. That's a good deer right there. That's gonna be some good food on the table. Yeah, I knew she looked like she was a good one when she came across that hill. I'm thankful for her. Very thankful.
The next hunt was thrilling also. I looked just in time to see a deer's back go behind a dip in the terrain, and I waited for it to come into view again. I couldn't get as steady as I wanted, so I finally stood and used the tree limb in front of me.
Well, folks, I was a little bit afraid of that. Turned out to be a 3-point buck. But when you pay him for these Tennessee tags, Tennessee licenses, anything you can take home, in my opinion, is a good thing. Try not to do that, but sometimes those ears hide those antlers. It gets kind of tough. But I'm really happy to have this deer today, and put some bacon around that, and that'll taste really, really good. I will say this, just a little hunter help. So many times when a deer comes across a field by itself, I'd say 9 times out of 10 it's a buck. And I tried to study it real good, but you know, I was a long way away. My stand is over there on those 2 tallest trees, and so that's a pretty long shot. And but anyway, we'll take it today. I'm happy about it. Get it field dressed and get back in the stand.
Meanwhile, I got word that Steve Wright had given a tag on a buck. Steve had shot a doe, but when he tracked it and came near it, this buck was standing over her, clearly an indicator that the Tennessee rut was still on. I'd be back to Tennessee, but next I was on my way to St. Clair County, Alabama.
Beautiful afternoon. December 30th, we're finishing out 2016. It comes to an end this weekend, and I can't think of a better way to finish this than to be where I'm at today. I'm at the No Business Creek Hunting Club, invited by some special friends today, and I'm in a place they call a sanctuary. That's a good reminder of what all of us need to be. A sanctuary for God, a place for God to dwell. And so it feels good to sit today in the sanctuary, and I'm hoping to see something very majestic walk through here in just a little while.
Well, I failed to see that majestic creature, but Johnny Harris got him a few days later in the same shooting house I had sat in on my first morning at No Business Creek.
I'm pumped. I mean, this was an amazing hunt. Didn't go anything like I was expecting it to, but hey, got a great big 9-point out of this deal. Day didn't start off like I'd planned it at all. Spent way too much time trying to hang stand, and everything was falling apart. And I actually thought a couple of times about just giving up on the whole thing, pack it up and head back to the truck. But I'm really glad I didn't do that now. You never know how these things are going to turn out. Sat there and picked out a plan B, went to a different stand, just kind of got up in hoping for the best. And a big one walks out there in the field. I mean, chasing does, pretty much had everything that I was doing wrong, and my big plan had just fell apart completely. But here it was now, you know, the wind in my face, does feeding in the field, big deer comes out chasing a doe, runs one of them right off. I mean, scattered the does everywhere, runs one into the woods, chases after her. And I sit there trying to get a gun up, never even got the shot, never even got him in the crosshairs. And then, you know, you just sit and kind of wait about it and think, well, I guess I blew it and it's all over with. That may be the last I see of any of them. A few minutes later, here comes the does back in the field, and next thing you know, he comes back in the field.
Thank you for coming along today. We really had a good month in the month of December. We look forward to January. Things will be winding down soon, but the rut is really kicking up in South Alabama. We hope to have some good things to show you there. So keep coming to Woods to Word, and we'll share more videos, devotions, other good things that can be of help to you at W2W, where the woods meet the Word.